This is Shanda. It's been a few days since my last video, and I've aged significantly from being stuck in my home with my family.
Just kidding. I'm sure that we're all feeling that way though. You know, it's only been a couple of days and it feels like it's been forever, especially when we're stuck in our homes with our roommates or our spouse or our children and teenagers and animals and all of the above. It can just get a little crazy and a little stressful. And whenever we're all stuck together like that, there's bound to be some conflict, there's bound to be some arguing. And whenever we are in these situations, we need to remember how important it is to fight fair. And we've got some rules that we can go by to help us to fight fair, some guidelines, if you will, that'll be good for us to follow. And the first one is to remember that whenever you go into an argument, it's not about winning. Sometimes we have this need to be right, and we need to remember that that's not what it's about. Whatever the issue is, it's about feeling heard. You want your concern and whatever it is that's bothering you to be heard. You don't need to win. That's not the point. And try not to yell. Arguments get heated really easily, and so we want to try really hard not to yell. Once you start yelling, you stop listening. And when you're yelling, they're not listening to what you're saying, they're listening to how you're saying it. And you want to have effective communication. You want to feel heard, right? That's the goal. So if they can't hear what you're saying because you're yelling, then it's what's the point? And then if you're yelling, you probably need to do something that's going to sound crazy, and that's take a time out, you guys. It doesn't matter if you are 65 or 6 years old, we all need time out sometimes. And that's if you start getting too upset, overwhelmed with emotion, whether it's anger or just hurt. Take some time out. Give yourself time to de-escalate. So you need to be able, or try to tell the person that you're having this argument with, hey, you know what? I just need a minute to get myself together. Let's come back later and finish this, and set a time to come back and do that. And then you also only want to fight about one thing at a time. It's so easy in arguments for us to end up talking about everything this person has ever done wrong in the entire time that you've known them. But that's not the point. Once you start doing that, it gets bogged down and it gets muddy, and there's no resolution, and there's just more things stirred up. So talk about one thing at a time. And in that, take turns talking. Give each other space to get everything out. Give each other space to communicate what they need to get off their chest. And while that person's talking, try to focus on their words. Don't start thinking about what your response is going to be or what you're going to say next. Keep your focus on their words. You'll expect the same from them. And also, don't use degrading language. No name calling, no put downs. That's not kind, it's not Christ-like, and we don't need to do it. Don't do it. Then also use some I statements. Try not to say you did this or you make me feel. Say I feel this way when. So for example, you could say, I feel upset whenever you are on your phone while I'm trying to talk to you, instead of you make me upset when you won't get off your phone while I'm trying to talk to you. So the first one is taking ownership of your feelings and communicating that the way that you feel. The second one is an aggressive way of placing blame on the other person. We don't want to do that. It's not going to be heard. It's not going to be received. So try not to do that. Use I statements. Keep it in your circle. And then also try to know why you're upset. Are you upset because your teenager left a dish in the sink? Or are you upset because you feel like they're not pulling their weight around the house? As a teenager, are you upset because your parent went through your things? Or are you upset because it's a violation of your privacy and not just that they touched something? Why are you upset? Communicate the root cause. And then lastly, try to compromise. Life is messy, arguments are messy, and it's not always easy to compromise, but that should be a goal, to be heard and to find a compromise in the argument. All right, you guys, that's all I have this week. Fight well, fight fair, and may the odds be ever in your favor.